guys, Cherish here. Welcome to Cherish Notes, and welcome back. It's been a while, I know, but I'm ready to get back in it and get started. Sorry it's taken so long. Hopefully we can get back in the swing of things, even though there wasn't a whole lot of swing of things anyways. Point is, I'm excited, I'm ready to get back into it. Our new book will be Will Grayson, Will Grayson. This episode will go over the first 2 chapters and maybe a partial of the third. I continued reading last night, even though I told myself I was going to stop. So let's just jump right in. To start off with, Will Grayson is a book by John Green and David Leviathan. It's about 2 Will Graysons that live in Chicago, and I think they're eventually going to meet, but they haven't yet. The chapters flip back and forth between the 2, and while they are polar opposites, they are at the same time incredibly similar. They're both very pessimistic. So, the first Will Grayson likes to keep to himself and is very kind of stick in the mud, but more just doesn't like to be bothered. He has 3-ish friends. Tiny, which is his best friend, which is a giant gay football player, which honestly, every time, I can't think of the actor's name, and I know he probably doesn't look like this, but you guys know Kingpin from Daredevil? That's who I think of every time they talk about Tiny, which is ridiculous because the actor would never play a gay high school football player that pirouettes around all the time. But that's what I think of for some reason. And then there's Jane, which is Tiny's friend, and Will Grayson kind of just got caught up in it because he needs friends. And Gary, which is kind of one of their friends, kind of not. The only reason Jane and Gary are around is because they started the gay GSA, the Gay Straight Alliance at their school, and it's become this big thing. We'll get into that in a second. Quick, for the second Will Grayson, he's gay, also super pessimistic, very edgy, almost. Like meme stereotypical edgy. And he has Maura, Isaac, Derek, and Simon as his friends. Simon, I think, is his boyfriend, but I'm not sure. I need to go back and look now. Hold on. Maybe Isaac. Isaac is his boyfriend. Derek and Simon are his 2 other friends. Almost totally messed that up. But second Will Grayson is just down in the dumps all the time. He is clinically depressed. He talks about his drugs a lot. But we'll get into that later, hopefully. Anyways, chapter 1. Before the story started, the football players didn't like that Tiny was playing football, even though he's the star quarterback or something. And Will Grayson wrote a letter to the school newspaper about it and signed it, and it caused this big ruckus, and now Will only has Tiny as his friend, but Tiny has Jane and Gary, and so they're kind of his 3 friends, even though he really only talks to Tiny. Will Grayson and Jane, though, might be a couple kind of rooting for that, but I'm not sure yet. So, backstory. In chapter 1, not a whole lot happens. They go to see this band called Neutral Milk Hotel, and I looked it up, and it turns out I've liked several of their songs, and they're pretty alright. They're on iTunes if you're interested. Very like punk 90s. Not really punk, but alternative, so yeah. Anyways, so they do that, but that doesn't work out. Tiny gets and loses a boyfriend and a half. Now, he liked this one guy, and then it was suddenly another guy. And they talk about that in the book, like, that's not just me being confused. It's something that happened. And then From there, he breaks up with him through Facebook post. Tiny starts crying, gets super wasted, and they have to attempt to carry Tiny from Will Grayson's car to his small house behind his parents' house. They're super rich, so he has his own house, and it's a big mess. That's pretty much all that happens in the first chapter. In the second chapter, we meet second Will Grayson. I just realized I was yelling. Sorry. We meet second Will Grayson, and he and his mom live together. And they kind of have a dysfunctional relationship in where, like, his mom tries to reach out and he doesn't know how to react, and so he's just mean. It's, like, a big part of him that's, like, the majority of the first chapter. Also, a big difference between the two is first Will Grayson uses capital I's, second Will Grayson uses lowercase i's when talking about themselves. I don't know why that's something I noticed, but it was, like, a weird thing, and I even made, like, a little note about it. Moving on. He is super duper into Isaac, and that's about it. They were kind of quick, just getting to know your character chapters. I'm really excited for the next few. Hopefully the next video comes out pretty soon. I want to at least get one out a week. I'm not going to try to set anything specific though, because for some reason I'm really bad at that. I'm really good at keeping my promises with everything else, but YouTube videos are just all over the place for me for some reason. But at least once a week there will be one, most likely on Wednesday or Thursday. I try to get them out Wednesday, but it normally ends up being on Thursday. However, I would like to do more than that because I would like to read more than 2 chapters a week because I read them fast. Anyways, I would love to hear what you think, what I missed. Also, I am on Tumblr. I post things on there frequently while reading the book, just cute little things here and there about the book, and ideas for the next coming book. Yada yada yada. Like, comment, subscribe, I guess, and I will see you soon.